Now, again, there's a several-year campaign about this dead internet theory. Dead internet is the theory that the internet is now controlled, manipulated, and is now a blindfold on people. There's no freedom on the internet. That's what this dead internet theory is. Propaganda, controlled information, distraction, influence, and manipulation. So basically, they have taken over the internet. The internet used to be a free place for everybody to be a part of. It died when they took control of it. The dead internet is now basically the Matrix. It's a matrix, a world built to distract you from the real world, to keep you along your merry way in some cozy type of place. Now, if you don't believe that, I mean, we've got all this stuff going on in Europe and all these things happening, but then the world just continues to talk about like the Will Smith slap that happened, or Musk buying Twitter, and all that stuff. That's all a distraction. All that stuff is a distraction to keep the world, to keep the internet completely focused on stuff that they don't want anybody knowing what's really happening out there. That's so part of it is controlling the information, but the other part is distracting people. That's why you have stuff like TikTok and whatnot that's so popular out there, because it's what's the word? I can't think of the word. It makes people feel good. I don't remember what it's called. But it's basically sugar. It's to make people feel good. It's to keep them distracted for what's going on. The other aspect, of course, after the distraction is controlled information. Basically controlling what type of information out there, censorship, all that stuff. We're seeing the big push now that's happening with that. Yes, thank you, Miss Craig. That's what it is. Dopamine. That's the word I was looking for. I appreciate you. Glad to see you here, by the way. Glad to see you. It's always good to see you here, Miss Craig. Glad that you're here. But yes, dopamine. So, but the other aspect of it is controlling what information is out there, making sure that people aren't getting the truth, whether that's completely censoring it, or, I mean, we talked about that with the latest DHS documents about them with the portals, with the social media and stuff, you know, silencing it, taking it off and all that stuff, or whether it's taking it and feeding some, half-truths to go with it as well. We know that's a part of it, but controlled information is part of it. If you don't believe me, if you don't believe what's going on, here is somebody at the WEF talking about their connection with Google. Check this out.
You know, we partnered with Google, for example. If you Google climate change, you will, at the top of your search, you will get all kinds of UN resources. We started this partnership when we were shocked to see that when we Googled climate change, we were getting incredibly distorted information right at the top. So we're becoming much more proactive. We own the science, and we think that the world, should know it, and the platforms themselves also do. But again, it's a huge challenge that I think all sectors of society need to be very active in.
You think that's a conspiracy? You think that's a conspiracy theory? She blatantly told you that the UN has a deal with Google to make sure that only their information gets out. And you'll also notice that she said they own the science. So everybody who says follow the science, all that means is you're following the narrative that the UN has created. They aren't hiding this stuff. They blatantly are telling you what they're doing and how they're doing it to your face. And only a very select group of people are paying attention. Only a very few group. Those are the conspiracy theories. By the way, the conspiracy theorists, they're pretty much batting 900 so far. They almost have a perfect batting. record. Batting average. But why are they just telling you this stuff straight out? People have that question of how come they're not hiding anything? Because they've got people so jacked up on dopamine with Will Smith smacking Chris Rock and Elon Musk buying Twitter and the next TikTok that's coming out and whatever influencer is doing what and whatever Kim Kardashian is doing over here and whatever Kanye West is doing over there. All of that stuff is distracting people, keeping them away from the truth. And they've got them so dumbed down and plugged into the matrix that even them telling you straight to their faces, they won't believe it. They'll believe the science, even though the UN just said they own the science. Doesn't matter. They don't want to believe that. But they'll believe other things that fit the prerogative that they want. This is real stuff happening, and this is part of the dead internet. This is about them controlling it, and the dead internet includes those pro-Ukraine bots. It includes what the CIA wants and what the shadow government wants. It's all a part of it. I should have like a tinfoil hat on my head, I guess, but this is just really what's going on. Controlling searches and news is only part of it. You've got distraction, you've got controlling the searching and the news, but then, if that's not enough, there is another aspect to this. Taking out the opposition is the other, and that doesn't mean just banning somebody if they're posting something that doesn't go along with the narrative. Taking out the opposition goes a lot deeper than that, and it also includes bots as well. These bots. These bots, like we just talked about, they were used to get opposition shut down. How? Twitter, Telegram, even Telegram, Reddit, and Facebook groups and others, etc. All those social media platforms and whatnot would find bot army deployment. So these bots were programmed to go to specific groups and channels in these social media groups. These bots were built to comment what they call poison comments or poison pills, whether it was coof vitamin information, or misinformation, quote unquote, pro-Russian stuff, conspiracy theories, or even threatening government officials, riot groups and stuff like that. Anything that has to do with anything other than the narrative that they're trying to push, anything other than the agenda trying to push. These bots would go into these comment sections and post these things, which would then get the channels and the groups and the comments shut down. So these bots were built to find certain keywords and specific things where even if like the officials on the website couldn't find it, these bots would go in and they would start putting this stuff in there, and then people would flag it, or the website algorithm itself would flag it because they're dealing with misinformation. And those bots, they were built to go in and get these truth channels shut down, and it worked. It still is working. So these bots they're doing this stuff as well. So they were taking out opposition with this stuff. Control news, shut down opposition, sway opinion with social engineering, and aggravate the free thinkers from trying to find the real information out there. This is part of the dead internet. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's real. The internet is dead.